Hello everyone, welcome to AgileCast, a podcast series for Agile enthusiasts from ZBI Agile community of consulting and transformation. ZACT is a community of seasoned Agile coaches and passionate Agile enthusiasts. We live by a core value of knowledge sharing, which is the only way you learn and care about your community. We have been hosting webinars, meetups, annual conference named Agile NCR, and of lately we decided to share our podcast series which can help our fellow Agile enthusiasts in exploring the well-proven solutions in the space of business agility. In this series, I'm going to talk about value stream mapping. What does it mean? What does it do? How to do one? And who's it for? I will try to answer some of these questions and probably use it as a preface to my workshop which I plan to conduct in the coming months. In the workshop, I will use a case study to map out a value stream and discuss the subsequent steps of finally delivering the desired product or solution to the customer. Let's start with a bit of history. Value stream mapping can be traced back to over 3 decades. It was known as the material and information flow technique and was used at the Toyota Motor Corporation. It came about as the company's focus shifted to gain a better understanding of the material and information flow throughout their organization. The popularity of this mapping technique grew as American companies observed and studied the efficiency and consistency of Toyota's operations. The term value stream was first used in a book called The Machine That Changed the World and was further popularized by another book, Lean Thinking. As the lean movement took off, so did this mapping technique that Toyota had employed. It was continued to evolve to become what we know as value stream mapping. So let's try to understand what a value stream is. A value stream is simply a sequence of steps required to produce value for the final customer of a service or product. Value stream mapping enables us to better understand what these steps are, where value resides, and how can we improve. Thus, we can say value stream mapping provides us with a structured visualization of the key steps and corresponding data needed to understand and make improvements that optimizes the entire process. From the Six Sigma Forum, it is described as lean manufacturing or lean enterprise technique used to document, analyze, and improve the flow of information or materials required to produce a product or service for a customer. Now, let's move on to some specific information on what all things we need to conduct a value stream mapping exercise. In the last decade, I have facilitated or participated in several value stream mapping events. Some have been as long as 5 days and some have been completed within a day. For now, I will take an example of a value stream mapping session that I conducted for single piece flow. This is where one of the Scrum teams wanted to explore the possibility of moving a single user story to production, one at a time. The team wanted to analyze all the waste in the process and what needed to be done to make single piece flow possible. Let me start by introducing some terminology that we commonly use. Now, there could be different ways of doing this, but the way I have learned is first to divide the value stream map into 3 sections. The first section involves the flow of information. This section shows the communication or transmission of data. For example, in the single piece flow session, the steps would include the product owner communicating the requirements to the developers, the user story being included in the sprint backlog, the developers communicating to DevOps team for branching strategy and availability for deployments. It will also include the communication with support teams to update production scripts, Splunk dashboards, and support knowledge, and also the compliance teams for security scans along with stakeholder approvals for deployments. All this information is displayed with some symbols, images, arrows and text boxes on a physical board or an online tool like Microsoft Visio. The second section talks about the flow of solution. In my example, the development steps that will be undertaken to achieve the result. This section is very detailed as it involves all the data points relevant to the overall process. In case of single piece flow, it will include the time to get the development branch assigned with the actual step also displayed, then merging the code changes to master after executing the automation test, and fulfilling other requirements with the respective average times for each step. It also shows the average queue length for each step represented by a yellow color triangle. The final section at the bottom shows the time map. This timeline section has two parts. One that shows the average amount of time the solution or product spends waiting, and the other shows the time where the product is under process. This is also the time when value is actually being added. Some other terms that are used are lead time, cycle time, uptime and talked time. We will cover them when we map a value stream in a future workshop. Having gone through the terminology, let's outline the basic steps of a value stream mapping event. The first is to pick a process to map. This could be your biggest impediment or a new opportunity. Next is to identify each step to complete the as-is process. This is done by inviting the stakeholders or the subject matter experts from the respective departments to describe the sequence of steps. Then you enable some breakout sessions where the stakeholders think of any refinements needed or to include any missed steps. Next, you will make the stream. This would mean to connect the steps to visualize flow. This concludes the mapping of information and product flow. The last thing to complete the as-is flow is to add the timeline. Once done, all stakeholders do a final review to confirm the information displayed is correct to the best of their knowledge. Next is to map an ideal state, which basically means to map the flow of events if there were no process barriers. There are no approvals needed, there is no wait times, and if you could do anything, how will the steps from start to finish look like? This basically invites discussion around some difficult to achieve possibilities. The third is to map the to-be value stream map. This would include all the improvements that you want to make as per the observation made on the as-is flow, and often requires some out-of-the-box thinking to design the most effective solutions. I often use some liberating structures like one to for all, 15% solutions, min-max specs to get the collective wisdom of the group, as often you need to create smaller teams to focus on different areas of the complete value stream. Now that I've talked a little about the history, the basic terminology used, the different sections of a value stream and steps to create a value stream map, let me also talk about who is it for and what are the benefits. The value stream mapping or VSM exercise can be used to meet a variety of objectives. For example, it can have a very tactical function when developed and applied at the practitioner level. On the other hand, it can have a high-level strategic function when developed and applied by leadership. VSMs are a versatile and extremely useful tool in the Scrum Master toolkit. It allows the team to systematically visualize and quantify macro issues that slow teams down or degrade customer value delivery. They cover opportunities for breakthrough improvements. You can use VSM in different ways depending on your context, but whichever area you identify, cover in full detail, else you risk missing on critical benefits. What are some benefits of value stream mapping? To identify waste, to identify bottlenecks, to make process efficient, improve cross-functional collaboration, improve end product quality. At the end, the value stream map can help your organization get a broader sense of your business and how it works. And it helps managers make improvements to the business process with clarity and efficiency. Even if your organization hasn't yet participated in a VSM session, the cases and techniques demonstrate how you can reveal tremendous value in your organization, currently hidden away. Take a step back, visualize, and measure to challenge assumptions. Gain clarity and share it. Thinking and working in value streams removes a lot of uncertainty about where to focus, how to communicate, and represent flow. Hope this AgileCast introduced you to some useful basic information around value stream mapping events. I hope to elaborate with a practical case in a VSM workshop in the coming months.